Hello and welcome to the Lily Mercer Show. I'm here with the wonderful Kali Uchis. Welcome.
Thanks, Lily.
Welcome to my bed.
It's good to be here.
I know what I want. I know what I want. Just one. I know what I want. I know what I want. Tell me.
I mean, the first project I heard from you was Drunken Babble, and then Por Vida is like this year's album. So I think a lot of people probably discovered you, around the time that Por Vida was coming out and look back. And there's quite a 50s sound, I'd say, to Drunken Babble. And I think Por Vida's got slightly more of a 60s sound. So do you feel like you're drawn more to that decade sound now?
I think Drunken Babble was a lot of samples from the 60s, like Bretton Woods and stuff like that. But there was a little bit more 50s influence in Drunken Babble than the new one. I just get drawn to what I'm drawn to, and then I don't really understand why, but it just happens.
You've worked with some amazing producers, and I like including Tyler and Kay Tronada, but also, producers that you've kind of developed your sound with that we hadn't really heard of before as well.
Yeah, like Tyler reached out to me, Kay Tronada reached out to me, and both of them just made so much sense. I feel like it just happened.
So a lot of people saw you and Tyler were working together and assumed you were dating, or like some hoped, I guess, as fans. How did that make you feel?
I find it really fascinating, and I think it says a lot about society that immediately when a female and a male are working together, or if a male does anything that is going to help a female's career whatsoever, the immediate assumption is that she must be giving some type of sexual gratification to him in some way. Yeah. I mean, it says a lot about how people still perceive females and perceive us in the work field. People don't really like to give a female the credit that she deserves or believe that she's doing everything that she says she is. Like, so many people say that I don't actually do my creative direction, I don't style myself, I don't write my own lyrics. They say that about a lot of female artists because they want to believe a man is always doing it for you, and they want to always believe there has to be someone helping you. I don't know, for some reason that's a thing in society, I feel like, musically, because it's not like people are just targeting me, it's happened to everyone.
But it's true, and there's also, I think that there's this really weird thing of men being jealous of women, like as in like a male fan sees a girl get in the studio with his favorite rapper and is like, oh, she must be a whore, like, it's like this really weird assumption, just because I think jealousy plays a huge part for both men and women. When they see a successful woman, they often can't handle it, even if they're male.
It's like, come on, like, if people really want to believe, oh, like, that person's talentless, like, she has no talent, he only helped her because, like, he could fuck whoever he wants to fuck. Like, why would he do so much shit for my career just to fuck me? That doesn't even make sense. Do you know what I mean?
I wanted to ask about one of your tasteful visuals, because you recently put out a video for Rush, but the video looked real fun, and you were doing some stunts in it, I saw. Was it dangerous, or it looks kind of dangerous?
Yeah, it's fun that way because, I don't know, it's just more exciting. I mean, it would have just been dry to just be like a bunch of girls like hanging out, so I was like, man, I want to do it. Plus, that kind of stuff is just fun to do in general, you know what I mean?
What do the things I do? If you only know. Quería salvarte, dímelo. Papi, siento que es tan natural.
I feel that there aren't many singers anymore that actually, Spanish language singers that incorporate that side of, their language into their music as much. A lot of Spanish language singers tend to be singing in English these days. So is it important to you to bring that through, like through Por Vida, you've done that, and you've covered Selena as well?
Yeah, well, even when you go to Colombia, there's a lot of people are just, like, the radio, even in Colombia, has a lot of English songs, and even if you try to buy a t-shirt at a mall, like, usually it's gonna have some English word, some type of chopped up sentence in English written on the front of the t-shirt. I just feel like, yeah, people should write however they want to write and incorporate whatever languages they want to incorporate and be more citizen of the world type situation rather than try to Americanize everything.
But when did you really get into writing, like taking it seriously, if you see what I mean?
I've been writing bullshit since I was little, like writing stories and poems and stuff like that. And then when I got into music, I was really drawn to female artists that were more kind of had like a fuck you demeanor to them, because it was, I guess because it was non-traditional, or because there was such a power to it that I was really attracted to. And then the contrast between like a nice fluffy flowery like feeling or song with lyricism that's more I don't want to use the word edgy, but you know what I mean, lyricism that's a little bit more cutthroat or like not so powdery has always been something that I was really attracted to as well. And then I feel like there's a lot of music where girls feel like they have to play this like crybaby role of like, oh, my heart's so broken, and like it's like all this crying and all this whining about a guy not being there or like a guy not being faithful or loyal or whatever. And I feel like, yeah, we all go through that, but it's like the perspective of like being over it or being done with it or whatever is something that I would much rather hear than like the pain of it, just because I'm a sensitive person, and when I listen to that kind of music, it makes me like, I'm just like, oh, why am I listening to this right now? I would rather listen to something that's helping uplift me and helping get me out of transition me into where I want to actually be at, rather than digging me deeper into this hole. So I feel like that's the type of music that I wanted to make. Is the type of music that I would want to listen to when I'm actually going through that music to get over it.
I think that's perfect. Oh, thank you very much for joining me on the Lily Mercer Show.
Thank you for having me, Lou. Thank you so much, Lily.